Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Bob Crawford and I'm one of the several people behind the ice rink at Bushnell Park and part of the Winterfest group here to announce Winterfest 2013-14. So welcome. We're going to start off today talking about the 4 years. This will be the 4th year of Winterfest. Yes, it's fantastic. And I always remind people since year 2, this was an original vision of Mayor Segarra, who wanted to open up the parks to the people, not only during the warm months, but 12 months out of the year, and make the city's wonderful offerings as far as the parks available to everybody year-round. And it was also a reach out to the greater Hartford community to come to Hartford to enjoy the downtown, enjoy the park, and become part of the Hartford community for 12 months out of the year. And it's been a tremendous success. So great vision, Mayor, great follow-up, and thank you again, because you are the one that made this happen and continues to be the driving force. So thank you. You know, the first year we had an ice rink that was about less than half the size of what it is now. Every year we've been able to grow it a little bit. We're going to grow it a touch this year, closer to the pump house. But it's been that way because of its tremendous success. And that success comes from a lot of different people who have worked hard together, a lot of sponsors that we're going to mention later that provide the capital to make this happen. But if you really look at it, it's a commitment. It's a collaboration with great communication, and it's a community. And when we talk about the community, it's about Hartford, and it's about greater Hartford. As you see, we have quite a few of our neighboring communities here today to support this, and that is another plus that has come out of this. People from outside of Hartford come by the thousands. You know, last year we had 100,000 people. Our best count was over 30,000 people came from outside of Hartford to the city during Winterfest to skate. And that was wonderful, because we don't really count the people that aren't there to skate, the people that are watching, which we estimate to be at least double that. So again, it's been a great, great success. One of the things we're going to talk about quickly before we bring everybody up, this year we have a number of things in addition to what we've had before. We are going to continue to have the carousel rides. We are going to continue to have trolley rides. The first night, it looks like we're going to be able to do that through a generous donation. Opening night, the carousel will be free, which is going to be a tremendous thing, because as you know, the ice skating and rental skates are provided free of charge. So we had someone step up for opening night, so we're very thankful for that. There will continue to be free photos from Santa at the Pump House Gallery. And again, thank you to Hartford Bid and all that they do, because that is their commitment and part of this Winterfest. A holiday market. We're going to be offering opportunities to buy some of the goods and services that people from the Hartford community offer. Again, this is another growth area, and we think it's going to be very successful. And we're going to have our festive opening night. Last year we had over 3,000 skaters and over 7,500 people show up opening night. We're going to beat that again this year. So that's going to be great. And before we introduce our special guests here, I'd just like to thank my own staff, who 4 years ago I told them we had to do an ice rink in downtown Hartford in 4 weeks, and they went, what? But they're just great people. Johnny Slider's here today. Johnny set up the synthetic ice. Thank you. The Parks and Rec Department, who have been tremendous supporters from day one. Christina Newman-Scott. Where's Christina? She is a driving force behind this. I know you don't like to be. She's very, she's just tremendous. Mike Zaleski from Hartford Bid and his staff, wonderful. Julio Concepcion and the Metro Hartford Alliance, who do a lot of the back-end work. Tremendous. The Hartford Police Department, who provide not only security services for the site, but we're going to announce formally a little bit later where we've got a collaboration with the Hartford PAL, where they're going to be doing our Learn to Skate and our Learn to Play Hockey program, getting the kids there, and it's just going to probably triple the size of that program, so thank you. HPD, wonderful. And the iQuilt. This was initially part of the iQuilt vision was a livable, walkable city. And this was one of the first rollouts, again, part of the mayor's vision, a livable, walkable city. And I love the idea of the iQuilt. I love its future. I love where it is right now. I think we have to drive it home, continue to make this a livable, walkable city, because it is, in my estimation, the best city in the United States, and coming from Canada, the best city in the world. So, without further ado, and again, the man whose original vision led to this and continues to be the driving force, the Mayor of Hartford, Mayor Pedro Seguera.
I feel so horrible being given so much credit for this rink, which my partner Charlie, upon coming here from Florida, kept on reminding me every year since 2000 that why don't you have a skating rink, and why don't you have it like in your Central Park? And when I became mayor, the first thing that was out of his mouth was like, great, now we can get the skating rink. Of all the things you would think, right? But really, there's just so many, each and every one of you has had something to add to this effort and making it a success. And each year, the skating rink continues to grow. This year is going to be a little bit bigger than last year, and our hope is that we continue to grow it, to hold as many people as want to come to skate, and to be able to skate for free. We were very clear that we wanted the children of all of our city, of all the neighborhoods, to be able to come and not have to worry that, well, we can't go because we don't have, you know, the $5 or $10 or whatever it is, and we don't have the skates, and we don't have the money to rent the skates. So what we want to do is continue to expand upon that idea and make sure that we now teach our kids how to skate. You know, I just want to thank Bob, because when the idea came to the table, he just really ran with it, and he knows a little bit about ice and skating, so he was able to put it together. Now working jointly with Mecca staff, which has incorporated themselves into this effort, and really, I mean, I've seen these people out there volunteering, handing out skates, really going beyond what they need to do to make sure that our kids are there, and DPW always, you know, in very critical, cold times, being there. Sometimes the weather elements want to take over, and they help us mediate that. And of course, Mary Corsi, who really makes sure that this gets, that we get the word out. If we want a livable and sustainable city, we have to make sure that everybody who surrounds us is aware of what's happening in our city. And I think that we're starting to see the early results, because I think this is an ongoing movement, the early results of people finding that, yes, there are things to do in our city and surrounding cities, but there's things in our region that happen that are really incredible. So to that end, I want to thank my colleagues, Marsha LeClaire, Mayor of East Hartford, and Scott Slivka, Mayor of West Hartford, because this is an excellent opportunity for us to bring our communities together. And a lot of our skaters do come from West Hartford, come from East Hartford and surrounding towns, and I think that's really important, because I think that in order to create the diversity that we need in our city, first of all, you have to bring people together so that people become comfortable with each other. And one of the greatest things that I've seen over the years is the ability of our children, who are not yet contaminated with many of the prejudices that sometimes adults have, to really come together and do a wonderful job of teaching each other how to skate, lift each other up when they fall down. I have never ever seen any type of situation in 4 years where we have had any type of situation where it's been a great place, a great space. So I want to thank our surrounding mayors. Over 100,000 people, that's incredible. We're a city of about 125,000. So we're getting to the point where we've had almost as many people who live in our city actually come and participate in skating at this small place. So what we need to do now is that we also understand from our experience every year, we have a lot of kids who don't have gloves, don't have hats, don't have skates, don't have scarves. So we're committed to starting a fundraising drive so that we can actually get people to donate so that our kids are much more comfortable when they come and do their skating. So we hope that we can get your support. We're committed to raising 1,000 pieces of warm clothing here at City Hall alone. Okay? We're gonna 1,000 pieces, and that's a challenge that we want to hopefully by time that the skating picks up, that we have that many gloves and scarves and hats. This is really important for our kids because we want to make sure that they don't get any frostbite or anything out there while they're skating. So we need to keep them warm. Look, again, I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart on behalf of the communities, on behalf of the thousands of children who would have never had this wonderful opportunity to skate and enjoy our park and enjoy our winter. I want to help you for making that possible. This has been your creation. This has been your project, and I thank you for coming back. Julio, thanks for all that money. I think Julio has helped raise over $1 million to support this effort. Okay, it's our budget is anywhere between $375,000 to upwards to $500,000, and each and every year he gets in there, he makes sure he does the legwork and gets all that money in. And then, of course, a lot of the volunteer work that has gone into the project. So thank you so much. I look forward. This year I'm going to be skating with Yomari. That's going to be my skate partner up there in the middle. I'm going to throw her. I'm going to do a triple axel. You're going to show me how to do that. Just throw her up in 3 times revolutions, and then she lands safely. Thank you so much. And this young lady here has been incredible. She has donated hundreds of hours of her time to skate for the public, to teach our kids how to skate safely, and to be a good friend to a lot of nervous kids who have never been on the ice. So I want to thank you. The mayor and everyone here thanks you for your support of 4 years to this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you again, Mayor Segura. Next up, we have the Mayor of West Hartford, Scott Slifka. Scott's just not the Mayor of West Hartford, but he's also has played hockey, loves the Whalers, and loves skating. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Scott, who's been nothing but a supporter and has offered his City Hall and the town rink as a drop-off point for what the Mayor talked about, the gloves, the jackets, and the hats that are so needed. You know, when you see the kids that come here, most of them come, you know, in T-shirts. Most of them come with, you know, without hats, and it's cold out there. And they're very thankful. And every time that we have something to offer them, it's not just a grab, it's a thank you. You get a thank you from these kids, and that's what makes it wonderful. Without further ado, Mayor Slifka from West Hartford.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you to my friend Mayor Segura for inviting me here today. Bob kind of gave away my motive for joining in this effort at the beginning. I'd like to say it was all altruistic, but as a few of the guys I grew up with pointed out right away, they said, "You're just doing this so you can hang out with the guy who used to play for the Whalers." And it is somewhat true, but I'm glad it has this other great benefit to it. I, along with Mayor LeClaire, are very proud to offer our support of the program in general, general, but specifically our city halls and in my case, the Veterans Memorial Rink as drop-off points for the winter gear and skates and anything else you can think of for the kids that need it. As joyful as an event this is, and as excited I am every winter to take part in it, it's also a sad reminder that there are a number of kids in this region, too many kids, that don't have adequate clothing to get through the winter, and we know how harsh the winters are here. So I know we are both very happy to help improve that. But there are two other reasons I just want to talk about my support for this very briefly. First comes from my perspective as a mayor. There are not enough of these events that we do that celebrate the region and celebrate the city of Hartford. And I enthusiastically support this one because it's not just the right thing to do, it's also a fun thing to do. And it's been a successful thing, thanks to all of your efforts. This is not cliched, what Pedro was just talking about. This really does bring people back into the city. It really does leave them with a wonderful feeling about an asset that is not just the city's asset, it's the region's asset in Bushnell Park. But my second perspective may be more important than that of than a mayor. It's as a dad. I'm the father of a 5-year-old. And she has enthusiastically taken part in this event every year. I don't just come with her for the opening ceremonies. We come back repeatedly through the rest of the winter for this because we just have a great time. And on those days, I'm not there as a mayor. There's no ceremonies or anything going on. I'm just walking around like every other parent there having a great time because my daughter's happy. And I've been looking forward to perhaps this year she'll get on skates for the first time and not just stand on the side with the grandparent as I go around a little bit. I don't think I'm going to be as daring as Pedro and trying to do a triple Lutz or anything with anyone. But parents around the region should know that this really is a fantastic event. And if you have that thought in your mind of what's Christmas all about? What is the winter time all about? Those things that you see in movies that make people smile. It's a beautiful park with a beautiful rink with families out having a wonderful time enjoying cold weather. And this event epitomizes all of that. So for all those reasons, I am happy to support it and hope that the residents of West Hartford will come by City Hall and the rink to drop off any excess items that they have or anything else they want to donate for the kids who need it so everybody can enjoy this. Thank you, Bob, and thank you, Mayor Segarra.
Thanks, Scott. And we'll take a single axle, not a triple. Okay, we'll start with that. Next up, from East Hartford, Mayor Leclerc, or as we say in Canada, Leclerc. I knew she had something to do with skating when I met her today, and it turns out that she has nieces that have skated, and obviously with a name like Leclerc, like myself, probably there's some heritage back to the province of Quebec. But without further ado, and again, thank you, Mayor Leclerc, for offering Town Hall in East Hartford, and thank you for your continued support, and we'll have you come on up now. Thank you.
They say it Leclerc in East Hartford as well. We make sure they know that. But thank you so much for being here. I'm delighted to stand shoulder to shoulder with Pedro Segarra, as well as Mayor Slifka from West Hartford. And I'd like to echo some of the sentiments that were said earlier in regards to, first and foremost, why it's so important for us to be a part of this. First and foremost is because the capital city of Hartford needs to be known for more than just the boundaries of the city of Hartford. And collectively, we work hand in hand on many occasions to try to have people experience all of the wonders of not only their own community, but to what the cultural assets that the city of Hartford, which is so close by, has. And to offer experiences to families, many free of charge, in the capital city. East Hartford is proud to be on the other side of the river from Hartford, but also too often the riverbank is seen as a toll gate to Hartford. And we're just happy and excited to open up the toll gate and have our families experience the Winterfest and the activities that go hand in hand, to experience the beautiful park, not only in the winter, but to come over in the summer and the other seasons, and to provide experiences not just for children, but to families. And in East Hartford, we have many families that need to have these cultural experiences, because with a broader perspective comes a broader vision and a greater learning experience. So I'm proud to stand here and say thank you for including us, Pedro and Scott. And we'll see you on the 29th. In Town Hall, we will have a bin where we will collect coats, hats, gloves, or mittens for the skaters that come out. And we certainly look forward to bringing a lot of East Hartford families, because really with a great supportive network and families was what we encourage every day in our community, we'll have positive outcomes. So we're looking to bring our families in for great ability to skate together, to have fun together, to laugh together, and to enjoy everything the great capital city of Hartford has to offer. So thank you very much, and we'll see you at the skating rink.
Thank you, Mayor LeClaire. Next up, we touched briefly on the iQuilt and its commitment to a livable, walkable city, which is just such a big group of people that have come together that believe in Hartford, believe in its future. And in saying that, up next from the Phoenix, the leader of the iQuilt group and a big supporter of the rink. Next up is Bonnie Malley from the Phoenix. Bonnie.
So thanks, everybody. Listen, I get the glory of standing up in front of all of you and talking on behalf of the iQuilt, but I've got to give a quick shout out to Jackie Mandyke, who is the iQuilt, by the way. She does all the work behind the scenes, and then I get to stand up here and take credit for it. But it really is all about the leadership that Jackie brings every day and the partnerships that she's formed with so many people in this room. But I often get asked, what is the iQuilt? And my answer is very quickly, it's the city's plan. But it is an urban design that is culturally based. And I'm standing here, and behind me, I've got to give a shout out also to Hartford Has It, because when you think about what's the iQuilt, it really is the plan that connects 45 different cultural assets that are within a 15-minute walking ability. So think about that. You can walk within 15 minutes in downtown and connect with 45 different assets. And that's what Hartford Has It is all about. And I know I'm not supposed to play favorites with cultural assets, in particular when we're standing in one of the most beautiful. But the reason you all have to come down to Winterfest is because you get to see one of the best cultural assets in Hartford, which is Bushnell Park, at night, which for any of us who have lived or worked in Hartford, it is a different experience, and it's new, and it is absolutely beautiful. So that's what gets all of us excited when we talk about why Winterfest and why everybody needs to be here and why we should support Winterfest. So that's really what I'm here to do, is to promote Winterfest and to also thank all of the people who are making it possible, and that really is the people who are sponsors. And we are fundraising every day, Julio at the helm, and we've got some sponsors who have already committed, and we're lucky enough to have some representatives from some of them here, but I'm going to mention the ones that aren't here in the very beginning. We've got USA Hauling and Recycling, the Hartford is a sponsor, and CREC is a sponsor. Obviously the City of Hartford, and we have representatives today. Dean from Bank of America is here, Bob from Webster Bank, Jack from Reed, I always get this wrong. Is it Riga? I always get this wrong. And the Phoenix, and I'm here to represent the Phoenix as well. So really, I just want to encourage everybody to come down, see the park at night, and enjoy what is going to be, I think, the best year yet.
Thank you, Bonnie. And again, thank you for the vision and commitment to iQuilt. In closing remarks, and before Brianna comes up to skate, it's her 4th year. She's going to be in high school next year. Her and her mother and I have worked together for years, but Brianna's going to be the closing when she skates, and she's a wonderful, fantastic skater. And as the mayor said, comes down to Hartford quite a bit and helps the kids. One of the things I want to talk about in the park before we close is what things like the I-Quilt and the Bushnell Skating Rink has created for Hartford. 4 years ago, there was housing, not that much. We start to talk about, I think I read in the paper there's 2,500 housing units that have either been built or are in plan to be built for Hartford. And I know Jack Horak, who's from Reed and Riga, whose kids used to play hockey for me, he's moved downtown. So a lot of good things are happening in our city core. And among them, I want to talk about the Bushnell Park Foundation, which I have the pleasure of being on. But one of the things that they're doing this year for an ongoing commitment and symbol to the city is they're going to be planting a tree this year. I know in the past we've had an artificial tree. They're planting a live tree, 12-foot, I think it's a blue spruce, that's going to be there. It's going to be dedicated to the Hartford. But it is an ongoing symbol to the growth and commitment to the park. And people forget, or I don't know if they forget, but they have to be reminded, this was the first public park in the United States. It was designed for the people, whether you were the richest or whether you were new to this country and didn't have a nickel to your name. And it was somewhere everybody could enjoy. And in closing, I just want to reach out to them and say thank you to Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, and the Physical Parks Committee. And Jennifer DeBello, who's the president of the group. Thank you very much. And again, they're volunteers that give countless hours to the park. So thank you. In closing, it's a collaboration. This is communities, this is departments within the city, this is people from outside, everybody working together to make this celebration work. I thank you. It's been a wonderful opportunity for myself. I've got a couple of other rinks that I own and operate. This one's the most fun. This is nothing but fun. And again, we expect to have another great year, and with your help, it will be. And we'll see you out on the ice. And Brianna, let's start the show. Yes, Brianna's used to normally skating on something that's 200 by 100 feet wide, so if she's not going to do any triple axels, please understand. But watching her grow and many of the skaters, I think she's got one more test to pass before she's completed all of her disciplines in the figure skating community. So come on out and see Brianna opening night, and thanks very much, everybody, and we'll see you on the ice. Thank you.